Welcome to Rootstem and welcome to this 11th edition 40k battle report. Hi guys, thank you very much for joining us. In today's game we're going to be having a 11th edition battle report between the Eldar, or Aeldari, and the Sisters of Battle, the Adepta Sororitas. And yes, it has been a while since we've had a battle report on this channel. I didn't really like 10th that much, and COVID really did a number on what I was going to actually record. So it has been few and far between, but I thought with the new edition, let's get back into it, and especially with this lovely 3D printed Armageddon style old school 2nd edition terrain. Looks glorious. I got it from Cults 3D from a guy called Dr. Spork. I downloaded it, printed it out, and of course I have painted it. We've got several painting tutorials on the channel, and I've got a couple of other items such as the wrecked vehicles. 11th edition is quite easy for a lot of the terrain pieces. The terrain pieces are already denoted with this here. And I've got the templates from Green Stuff World, which has got a nice white outline. Saying nice, it does make it look like the terrain has been murdered, and then there's a police investigation that's ongoing, but at the moment in time it actually suits my needs quite well because it makes it look good on camera, and it makes it really easy when you're playing a game to know whether or not you're in cover. Right, so today's game. Because both forces are actually Purge the Foe, we've ended up with a mix of meat grinder each. Deployment wise, we have Tipping Point. This is how the tabletop is going to be set. The table itself, it's going to be quite an easy one to be able to get across to each other, especially with a lot of deployments and a lot of the line of sight blocking terrain pieces. We might be able to get onto some centres pretty quick. So as you can see from the Eldar list, we have some Rangers, we've got some Dark Reapers, we've also got the usual Storm Guardians led by an Autarch. They're hopefully going to be holding on to, making sure that I can stick in objectives straight off. We've got a unit of Banshees that are going to be going into the transport of Wave Serpents, and we've got a unit of Wild Riders led by a Warlock, of course, on a bike. The whole idea of that is just to be able to move forward and possibly grab some objectives if I can. During deployment, of course, I have put the Farseer with the Warlocks and the Guardian Squad as one unit. They have gone into strategic reserve to turn up further up the field when needed. The Sisters force is comprising of a couple of units of Arco Flagellants. We've also got two Battle Sister squads, one armed with a Heavy Bolter and Storm Bolter, the other one armed with Multi-Melter and Melter. The Melter team, of course, is going to be going into the Rhino led by the Palatine, ready to move forward and cause as much destruction as she can. We've also got two Retribution units, one of which is the Metal team. They're going to be going into strategic reserve with one of the Arco Flagellant teams, and the second one, the Flamer unit, is going to go into the Emulator set right up the middle of the board, ready to just unleash flame of watch hell, whatever else Bev is going to want to do with that unit. So here is our setup and deployment. The Eldar have gone for refusing this particular, going heavy down the right hand flank with the infiltration of Rangers moving up towards that central objective on my right hand side. The Dark Reapers are trying to take up the centre of the position of the middle, although the Immolator right across from it is probably going to be more dominating in that field position of the board. It is going to cause me some issues. Here's that tank. We've got the Wind Riders down the left hand flank, and I have to try and support them with something at some point. I'm quick enough, I'm fast enough, and of course the Eldar are holding on to this objective here, making sure that I am sticking it. Only one model is within the terrain piece, so if she does get a chance to shoot me, Bev will knock me off the table. Oddly, Bev has gone for a similar thing. We're talking some proper sort of unit force down her right flank. Rhino with the squad, we've got the Immolator right in the middle. That's going to really is going to cause me some issues. And of course, we've got that squad of Rogue Trader with Entourage. Should be able to take hold of that centre objective. It can also take some damage and get some models back. Arco-flagellants off to the left, they're probably just going to run forward. Doesn't really matter if they take some shots, but then we've got some more units oncoming the board. Therefore, we've got another 2 units in strategic reserve ready to come onto a table. This might be a quick game, guys, or it might take ages. It could be cagey, it could be combatty. Let's see who gets the first turn. So now the all-important roll for first turn. I've got 4, and I have got 1. It will be sisters to go first. Bev's missions is outflank, not something that's going to be very easy for her to be able to do this particular turn, and secure no man's land, something that will probably be quite easy. So at the end of Bev's movement phase, she's been a little bit cagey. Down here, she's got a couple just of HKMs from those tanks, possibly firing down into the Wave Serpent. It's not going to be great for me, but she's also touching into that terrain, towing in, so then she's going to protect this entire side with potential overwatch, and this entire side with potential overwatch from those Stratum heavy, well, they're horrible flamers, 2d6 auto hits. They could wipe some of the Eldar out unless I'm going to start using some abilities. But it does mean if I want to try and push, the abilities are going to be no good. Down this side, the Rogue Trader, sorry, I'm going to get past my, there we go. Rogue Trader unit has just towed in just to be able to score the secure no man's land, and the same with the Arco-flagellants down at that flank there. These ladies have just spread out. They're actually holding on to the objective, but they're spread out just to try and make sure that there's not as many places for people to be able to infiltrate around the back, even though it's going to take a turn or 2, but they are just holding that objective. Waiting, really waiting for me to make a mistake. So, I'm guessing it's going to be some HKM time. So the Immolator has targeted the Wave Serpent, only just heavy bolters spewing out, doing nothing. However, the HKM is about to fire. It needs a 3 to hit for cover. Whacks it straight on the nose. Would need a 3/4 because of the Wave Serpent's rule to wound. Are you using your Miracle Dice? Miracle Dice has been used. So it's an automatic wound at -3. 5 up in vulnerable save. No! Damage. It's just a 1. Okay, using the command point early on changes it to a 3. Rhino now firing its HKM right down at the Wave Serpent. 3s to hit. It's a hit. 4s to wound. It's another wound. I need a 5. No! Punched through. D6 damage. For another 4. Wave Serpent has taken a battering. The grav plates are not functioning properly. Those two are really giving me a bit of a hangover there. That's not going to be great. Reduces it down to 4 wounds. So my missions for this turn is secure no man's land and assassination. Bev discarded one of her secondaries to gain an extra command point for this phase. So the Eldar's turn, they have moved some units up. The Banshees have got out of the Wave Serpent and moved up behind this terrain piece, making sure no one can see them. The Rangers have shifted around the corner. They have tagged themselves into, they have tagged themselves into this particular terrain piece to be able to score the secure no man's land. Also, I've done the same with the jet bikes, but I have I have played the ability to not be overwatched, because I think I have kind of checked, it roughly is roughly within range, and possibly that she could see me. So making sure that tank is not going to annihilate these folk, but make sure that cannot be overwatched, which is great. Right, but it does mean that these guys are kind of sat here not doing anything. Their ability has kicked in, they have then taken that objective, and then they're just kind of milling around at the back, making sure that nothing appears in the backfield that I don't want it to. Right. The only real shooting is going to be this tank trying to get some retribution against that tank over there. So this particular unit, I am going to spend a command point on it. We're going to try and cap out that evil Immolator, because I have got a line of sight to it just. However, there we are. However, it's -1 to my ballistic skill because of how many wounds I've got left. -1 to hit, sorry. And it's -1 ballistic skill because that vehicle will be in cover from that particular angle. So I'm going to be needing 5s to hit. But if I do get a 5 or if I get a 6, I'm going to get in 2 hits. This is what I'm looking for. So looking for 5, because this is where the weird -2 is going to kick in. I got a 6. I actually got 2 hits against the vehicle. So strength 12 versus toughness 11 or 10. Either way, I'm greater. Needing 3s. I got 2. Rewind time, I am cheating. So I've only scored 1 hit with the 6. I will ignore the wounding hits that I've done because I can't use blitzing firepower on this because it needs to be within 12. Whoops. So I'll give my CP back. I've hit once. Roll 3 to wound. I've wounded. So it's going to be a -3. Bev needs a 6 to save. No, so D6 plus 2 damage on the vehicle for 6. Shuriken Cannon also opened fire and did absolutely nothing to the vehicle. Right, so I've only put, I think there might be 1 of them that can possibly see. Yes, me not used to the rules, I have just put a couple of units touching, towing in there. One of them could see through, so I shot it, and it failed. Failed to do, did a bit of a hit, but failed to do any damage. So I've not managed to score any kills this particular turn. So it's getting towards the end of my turn. Down here we're going to attack with a unit. I'm going to play Webway Tunnel and get these guys into strategic reserve. Got that, guys, I'm a giant fucking idiot, and yeah, I can't do that until it's the end of my opponent's turn. So, so they are not playing Webway Tunnel as of yet. That's basically just going to give me my 5 points for secure no man's land. I think I'll keep hold of assassination. At the end of turn 1, both players are on 5 victory points each. At the start of battle round 2, Bev has drawn Burden of Trust, selecting units with blue markers to hold the objectives they're currently holding and bring it down. That Wave Serpent looks like it's about to get shot. So a very productive turn by Bev. She managed to get 2 miracle dice this particular turn, a 6 and a 3, due to the unit being locked into the home objective there. This unit is doing the Burden of Trust, so is this unit here and this unit here, all holding on to, I need to move out of the way of my chandelier, all holding on to here. So the Arco-Flagellants, they've got just outside of 8 inches on here that turned up from their strategic reserve. I was holding off on the Retributor unit. Carried forth the Faithful with the Emulator. It passed its morale check. It burned right around the corner. Got these ladies out here. I did some Overwatch as best I possibly could with the Howling Banshees. Managed to do a wound. I've saved it, so nobody is dead yet. There's going to be a hell of a lot of flamers coming into those Howling Banshees. I completely forgot that army could do this, so I might be regretting this. Then these ladies have ran forth as well out from the Rhino. They're going to be targeting these over here. And of course, like I said, Burden of Trust. Yeah, so we've got a lot of flame coming. I think I'm going to have a lot of units die. So the tank is trying to take out the tank. Immolation Flamers are cracking on. To start with, 2d6 auto hits. Oh, we've got a whopping 10. 10 wounds, need 5s. So 4 wounds on the vehicle, needing 4s, save 2. Heavy bolter coming in now, needing 3s, there's no cover. Oh, that's going to be an amazing 4 hits. Still needing 5s to wound. 2 wounds, right, these are going to be -1. So I need to save both of these because it's only got 2 wounds left. And I've not. Do I command point reroll? That is the question. Yes, I managed to save. So now it's the sister's turn. Bev has decided to fire a combi weapon into the tank. Needed 5s to hit, missed. But Brazier of Holy Fire is going to go into the tank. The rest of the Heavy Flamers are going to go into the Howling Banshees. I don't think I'm going to survive this if I'm honest, but she's going to use the 6 that she has on the Miracle Dice. So she has a 6 and a 3. 6 for the automatic hits with the Brazier of Holy Fire. So 6 hits on the tank, needing 5s to wound. And it will cause 2 damage with a -1. Oh, only 1 wound. It's going to be a 4+ to save. No! Does it explode? No. Right, heavy flamers now going into the banshees. This is not going to be great for me. Oh, that's a flurry of 4s. 16 hits, needing 2s to wound. Strength 7 because of the range of the trainers. 13 saves, needing 5s. Very deadly. 9 have been removed from the battlefield, leaving only the Ekshak on her own to try and take on this mass. So off camera, the sisters open fire, their shots smashing into the Wind Riders, actually taking 1 out, but everyone else missing, mainly due to cover more than anything else. Right, I don't think Bev has got any more death to deal to me today. Crap. Oh, a charge. Right, I don't think Bev has got any more death to deal to me today. A charge hero. So the charge have got to be more than 8 inches away when you come in from ingress or strategic reserve, etc, etc. So Bev is going to need a 9 on 2d6.
Each one.
So the Arcos are in. They have smashed straight into the... Yeah, I'm not doing very well here. Right, that's going to be a whopping 18 attacks. Right, needing 4s to hit. Bev is going hazardous, and any 6s are sustained. 10 hits, needing 5s to wound. Ooh. Apologies, 3s to wound. 5+ invulnerable save. The fight back and Bev's hazardous rolls means that I managed to take 1 of the Arcos out and knock a wound off the other. But I'm not doing very well here, guys. Really not. I've lost quite a few units. Still got a unit left in reserve to come through, but I am not holding any real great position. My missions for this turn is still assassination. I've also got plunder, which is doing an action on an objective. Can be quite easy to do. And engage on all fronts. At the end of my movement phase, I've managed to get the Rangers out of combat using the feigned retreat, allowing them to still shoot. Hopefully I might be able to take out that Cannon S, but I doubt. The Rangers, Dark Reapers, sorry, moved up and made sure that they could not be overwatched using some points. The Howling Banshee decided that she passed a battle shock. She's going to spend one of the battle focus points to give them an extra 2-inch speed. She shifted over to that end so no one could see her, and then she's going to do the action, the plunder. Down here we have the reinforcements popping up in the form of the Guardian Squad with the Warlocks. Sorry, I don't know why I'm out of breath. And they're hoping to try and take some of these on down here. And the Bikers, they shifted up and unfortunately still within Overwatch range of that damn thing, and it took another one of them out. Opening the salvo with the psychic attacks from here into the large unit. We'll start with the template torrent weapons. 2d6 + 2. Bev has played Shield of Aversion, making sure that she can't be hurt by these attacks. 2d6 auto hits from the torrent. So that's 10 + 4. It's going to be 14. 14, 2 + 6. Ooh, that's good. 14 saves incoming. Looking primarily for 3s. Only 3 dead out of that, so firing back with the Eldritch Storm. It's got blast, so d6 + 2, 5 shots. 3s to hit due to psychic, so I ignore the cover. 2s to wound. Oh, I've got 3. -2 normally, but Shield of Aversion knocks it down to -1. Oh, 3 6s, that's saved up. And the flurry of shuriken take another 3 sisters out. Now the Brightlands into the vehicle. We have checked it, it does have cover, so we are going to need a 4 to hit. Damn it! Right, the 2 snipers now are going to try and take out this Cannon S. 2 shots, needing 3s, both hit. Needing 3s to wound. Both wounded. So I rolled and wounded. Bev has decided to elect to use a miracle dice of 4+ to save the first one. And she saved the second one as well, meaning that those hits don't kill. So Bev has discarded the last cherub from that unit, got another 3 for her miracle dice, so she's currently on 2 3s for the miracles. Down here we've got all of the missile launcher plus a hell of a lot of swarming missiles into the vehicle. So I'm going to roll that type of dice for the missile launcher, and then these are for the star shot. Needing 3s to hit regardless of cover because they ignore cover. So I need 4s to wound. 1. So I'm going to use my shrine token to change one of the failing starshot missiles into a straight 6. That means it's going to be 2 wounding hits. These are -2, but I was going to need 5s and a 3 damage apiece. God damn you. So down here the Warlock can just see these guys. He's going to open fire with his Destructor and twin Shuriken catapults into those. The Shuriken Cannon, however, is going to fire into this tank to try and take it out. So the various different psychic attacks and the Shuriken Catapult managed to kill off 2 more of the actual sisters. Right, Shuriken Cannon into this tank. It is in cover. I need 4s. Come on, give me a good roll. A 1, 2 and a 1. Fantastic. At the end of turn 2, I managed to score Plunder and engage on all fronts. Assassination is still going to be in my hand. Might as well keep hold of that one. But it does mean that the Eldar are trailing 17 to 22. Bev has drawn Plunder and Display of Might, and she also managed to claim a maximum of 5 points from Burden of Trust at the beginning of this turn. So the end of Bev's movement phase, that's not moved at all, so just stayed where it was. They've kind of ushered a little, making sure to stay outside of 8. They're going to hold because they want to try and get a charge up. If they move closer, then I'm going to be able to redeploy those, so Bev's trying to avoid that as best you can. Moved a couple of these folks up just to be able to get some shots off. Rhino's moved up closer to my X-Shark, and these have just done an Overwatch. The Guardians managed to take out the remaining sister squad, plus doing a wound onto the character that is currently battle shocked. Right, so I think you're going to go with those first into these. Right, so skipping ahead a few turns here, Flamers easily took out the 2 Rangers. This thing's cannons, the Stormbolters, took out the X-Shark. Gone. Bev did open fire with the rotor cannons and has gone from here and has failed to do any damage to anybody over here at all. Now, Immolator is going to go against the Dark Reapers. 2d6 auto hits with the Immolator. 7. 2s to wound. 7 saves, needing 4s. Not bad. The Heavy Bolter also finished off another Dark Reaper. I used the Fade Back Battle Focus and they managed to get a mighty 8. Get right back behind that cover because I don't really want to get charged by any of these anytime soon. In the turn of events for the charge phase, the Palatine made it into the Vikers. Off she goes. Bev is also spending a miracle dice to turn the attacks into mortals. Right, so 2s to hit. All of them. Strength of the Palatine Blade is 4, so look for 4s to wound. Any 6s are going to do a mortal in addition. 2 saving throws. Oh dear. So I failed both, which means that the Palatine takes both down, would knock down the Warlock to 1 wound, but because she got a 6 to wound, that's a mortal wound in addition, she takes both of them out. Oh, I forgot to mention in the movement phase, move that out of the way, these guys did their ingress move right onto my home objective. Fantastic. Right, Bev has scored a flurry of victory points in that particular turn because I've just done so bad. Right, let's see what she's got. So I've still got assassination, but the missions I've drawn is forward position and no prisoners. This is going to be a difficult one for me to try and come back on. So in my movement, I've had to cautiously shift these back so they can see these guys down here without being fired upon by bees. I've made sure that Bev couldn't target them by making sure that they are immune to Overwatch at this moment in time. Hopefully they're going to take out the Palatine just so I can get some kill points here more than anything else. these have turned up in the backfield. I'm going to try to make sure I can do a charge, to grab that objective, to take it from Bev, to get some kill points, etc, etc, etc. So they're not going to be able to shoot, they're just going to be doing a charge. That squad into the Palatine. So some very lacklustre shooting. I managed to do them into that to kill off the Palatine. Now, I did award myself earlier on 4 points for killing the unit when I shouldn't have done, because I completely forgot that the squad plus the Palatine is one unit. I would have needed to kill the Palatine earlier, so I'm not going to give myself any points for that. I've already awarded myself points for that earlier on in the game. Not doing very well. Right. They opened fire, managed to kill 3 of those guys. Not the greatest. It's mainly down to this charge here. So can my Autark get in? I need an 8. Sorry, I need a 9. That's a fail. So I'm going to use the Autark's free CP reroll. I've still failed. At the end of my turn, I will be on 23. Bev, however, because she now scored display of might, whereas I have only scored no prisoners for 2, yeah, I'm not doing very well. I'm basically just, I think, at the end of turn 3, we're going to call it there. So, thank you very much for my first test game of the Warhammer 40,000 11th edition. Yeah, it's been emotional. And I definitely think torrent weapons, especially the 18-inch ones, when you can't take out the tank, yeah, that's going to rule the roost in my personal opinion. Everyone's talking about it being close combat. I don't think so. I think it's just going to be shoving one of them things, especially one of those things, in the middle of the board and just letting it reign supreme. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed the game. I've been Rootstem. We'll see you next time.